Hey everybody, it's Tom here. Finally doing part 4 of astrology configurations in 2026 that nobody has ever felt alive. Okay? We are 7 days away from something we haven't experienced in recorded history. All right? Saturn and Neptune are going to meet at 0 degrees Aries, the world point, the ignition degree of the zodiac, okay, the degree of emergence, identity, beginning. Somebody found out when the last time this happened. Okay, my astrology software, a lot of astrology software does not go back this far. Okay, the last time this happened, okay, March 3rd, 4361 BC, on my birthday. So, here's the sobering truth. We don't have any written history from that time. There were no empires to record headlines. There's no newspapers, no kings carving decrees into stone tablets. But archaeology does tell us something different, okay? And it's important. Humanity was crossing a threshold at that point. We were shifting from roaming survival patterns into stable agricultural societies. Symbol systems, okay, were emerging. Timekeeping was forming. Ritual calendars were being created. Okay. I mean, there wasn't any event, like a political event or something. It was a consciousness event of some sorts. And that conjunction occurred. It was like the dawn of structured civilization. Okay. Myth, order, and time started to begin crystallizing into form. You know, Saturn's structure, Neptune is myth, imagination, spirit. Okay. Now, at the first breadth of the zodiac, 0 point of Aries, it symbolizes the moment spirit becomes structure. And it's happening again. All right. Now, this time we're not inventing like agriculture. All right. We're not doing anything, but actually we're probably dissolving an industrial civilization. Now, what comes next? Okay. The next date that I want to talk about is July 19th. Okay. And I'll show the chart above. Okay. And the configuration is so absurd in its rarity. All right. We have 4 outer planets. Okay. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter. They're all sitting at 4 degrees in their respective signs. And their relationship to each other in aspect are all sextiles and trines. Except you have Jupiter opposing Pluto as well. And Uranus will be squaring the nodes. Okay. The north and the south node, Rahu and Ketu. The moon will also, on this day, reach 4 degrees in its respective sign to complete a geometric pattern that's called in astrology the Star of Bethlehem. Okay, so it's not a literal Star of Bethlehem. It's a figurative geometric Star of Bethlehem. Okay, it's sacred geometry. Now, it represents like divine alignment. Okay, when you have sextiles and trines, this is a lot of harmony with energy. Okay, now it's like earthly manifestation. It's revelation through structure. And you do have Saturn very close to Neptune at the time of this. It might be out of orb, but technically Jupiter opposite Pluto, there's expansion versus power, truth versus control, belief system versus like raw underworld force. Like historically, you could go back and correlate it with like massive ideological recalibrations, empires shifting, financial systems restructuring, all right, narratives exploding. All right, now you add Uranus squaring the nodes in this. Uranus is disruption, innovation, shock. All right, the nodes are like your karmic trajectory. All right, collective destiny. when Uranus is squaring the nose, you're going to have like timeline fractures in all this, like unexpected events that alter direction. It's evolutionary turbulence. So what are we looking at? We're looking at Saturn Neptune, 0 degrees Aries. That structure dissolving into a new identity, followed by a rare outer planet symmetry. Okay, power systems being recalibrated, belief structures are challenged, technological, ideological shock, redirecting where humanity's trajectory is going. Okay. Now let's bring a calendar convergence into this. Okay. They just did an AI test, okay, of 30 ancient calendars. 30. Okay. Independent across cultures. They did not talk to each other back in the day, okay? Geographically isolated. They all mathematically converged on 2026 as a pivot point, okay? Like it did not go any further in assessing all of these ancient calendars, all right? So this isn't like a prophecy so much, okay? But like mythically, psychologically, it's very interesting. Like we have ancient humans obsessing about tracking cycles and all these different calendars from different cultures, different societies, different civilizations. And they're all converging on a similar window of time. And it's telling us something like human beings, they can sense large cycle thresholds. And Saturn Neptune cycles, we've known collective myth restructuring. Okay, the last one, Soviet Union, Cold War, done. Berlin Wall falls. Time before that, Stalin dies. Okay, time before that, World War I. We can keep going. I mean, the last time we hit zeros Aries with this Saturn Neptune, like I would say civilization itself was kind of forming. So now we're kind of on the edge of like AI, digital currency shifting. We have geopolitical instability. We have ideological fragmentation. And we've got a huge amount of technology accelerating. It's not catastrophe. It's like we're pushing through a threshold. All right. Jupiter opposite Pluto in this configuration on July 19th. It's like expansion through confrontation. If you remember part 3 with the Mars-Uranus conjunctions, July 4th, that's the first one. So you go ahead a couple weeks, Uranus is squaring the nodes in this configuration. The future's breaking the expected path. Okay? We're defining with the Saturn Neptune at Aries what reality even is. Okay? You know, there's a lot of people looking at these Epstein files for the first time. All right? There's a lot of people going, oh, wow, this is going on. But, you know, people like us, like me, I read David Icke back in the 90s. He was saying this stuff. He's been banned from I don't know how many countries. Okay? Graham Hancock, I read Fingerprint of the Gods back in 96. Learning about the pyramids, where they face, how unique they were. Okay? But now people are starting to get it. They're starting to see the evidence in their own worlds. It's great. It's great. Okay? It's pattern recognition on some level. All right? So this isn't, we're not predicting disaster. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be some geophysical events, particularly next week. I hope not. But, you know, I don't know. It's, we're recognizing an inflection point in civilization. When spirit and structure meet at the beginning of the zodiac, okay, humanity's redefining its identity. And this July configuration, July 19th, it's amplifying it. It's not necessarily a single day, but it's, you know, it's like a harmonic of these shifts that are happening this year. Okay, so this is part 4 of 4. All right, this configuration you've never felt before. Nobody else you know has felt it either. Okay, I'm not guaranteeing an event like one thing. It's like a systematic reorganization at a level that's touching everything: finance, belief, power, destiny, all at the same time. What's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. We're not at the end of something necessarily. We're more at the beginning of a new mythos. We're at the new mythos. And Saturn and Aries, we've got to build it consciously. Okay. We're going to be given a choice of how to build the future. So that's all I got. Talk to you soon.